Today, we're plunging into, well, an extraordinary and often turbulent journey. We're talking about a figure who went from being this global sports icon to a national leader, and now finds himself an imprisoned voice of protest. It's quite a story.
Yeah, it's a narrative just packed with triumphs, controversies, and some really profound questions, actually, about democracy itself. So, our mission today is to really try and cut through the noise surrounding Imran Khan. We want to look at his incredible rise, his time as prime minister, which was pivotal, and of course, his current very challenging situation. And we're drawing directly from the sources you provided us. We'll pull out the key insights, connect the dots, and try to understand what really stands out in this whole complex story. So get ready. You're going to explore how a man who famously united a nation on the cricket field, then led it politically, only to end up, well, at the center of this huge legal and political storm. And really, this isn't just about one individual. It's about leadership, it's about public service, and that ongoing struggle for democratic ideals.
Okay, so let's unpack this incredible journey. Starting right at the beginning, Imran Khan, born in Lahore, October 5, 1952. His education included studying PPE, that's philosophy, politics, and economics at Oxford. But even, as a young man, just 18, he was already making waves internationally in cricket.
Yeah, it's quite striking how quickly his cricket talent wasn't just obvious, but how it really resonated with the whole country. He became captain. And that crowning achievement, leading Pakistan to its first Cricket World Cup victory in 1992. Well, that wasn't just about sports, was it?
No, not at all.
It went way beyond that. It kind of forged this national identity, this trust that for many people sort of pre-qualified him for leadership in a way politicians don't usually achieve. That win definitely got him national recognition, like the Halala Imtiaz Award, a very big deal.
A truly unifying moment for Pakistan, absolutely. But for Imran Khan, it seems like the cricket field was just a prelude, a step towards something bigger. His next move was into philanthropy, and the scale of what he did there is really quite something.
Right, and connecting that, his move into philanthropy, it wasn't just, admirable charity work. It strategically built this national brand, tangible public service.
Okay.
He founded the Shukat Khanum Cancer Hospital in 1994, a real beacon of hope. And later, Namal University. And that figure, over $600 million raised. I mean, put that in perspective. It's almost unheard of for a private charity in Pakistan.
Wow.
It showed huge national trust and this unique ability he had to get widespread public support for things outside politics, especially free cancer care, scholarships.
Yeah.
It really showed he could get big things done, things the state sometimes struggled with.
That's fascinating. So this deep dedication to public welfare shown through those institutions, it really laid the groundwork for his next chapter, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's a much more challenging one, politics. So in 1996, he establishes his party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, PTI. What was the driving force then? What did he feel Pakistan needed most when he started PTI? What was the core idea?
Well, he built PTI fundamentally on anti-corruption, meritocracy, and the rule of law. And what's interesting really is how consistently he stuck to those core ideas, even when it maybe wasn't the easiest path politically. For a country often dealing with issues of governance, fairness, these ideas really struck a chord with people who wanted change, wanted transparency.
And it wasn't a quick path to power, was it? It was a long haul. 22 years from founding the party to finally leading the country after the 2018 election, he came in with this vision: Naya Pakistan, new Pakistan, promising transparency, empowering people. Beyond that big picture, what were some actual things he focused on as prime minister? What were the key initiatives?
Well, during his time, his administration launched some really notable things. One that got a lot of international buzz was the 10 billion tree tsunami.
Right, the reforestation programs.
Exactly. Like a huge environmental project tackling climate change, pollution. Very ambitious. Then there was how his government handled the COVID-19 pandemic. The statistic that per capita deaths were about a third of India's. Well, that certainly got people talking.
Yeah.
It raises questions about their smart lockdown strategy, maybe more adaptive approach than expected, perhaps.
Interesting.
And for cricket lovers, a really symbolic win was getting international cricket played back in Pakistan again. After years away because of security worries, that was a huge boost for morale.
Those definitely sound like significant points. But, as often happens with figures who rise so high, so fast perhaps, his political journey, despite those achievements, took a very abrupt, very dramatic turn. And that turn now places him right at the heart of what you'd have to call a national crisis. Just picture this. A former prime minister, a national hero, walks into the high court for, a standard hearing, only to be unlawfully detained right there. inside the court complex. That was May 9th, 2023, on the Al-Qadir trust charges. And the crucial point here, which can't be stressed enough, is the Supreme Court later ruled that arrest was unlawful.
Exactly. And despite that ruling from the highest court, here we are, June 2025, and he's still imprisoned in a Diyala jail, facing multiple cases. And this raises a really significant point. Critics, both within Pakistan and internationally, are alleging these trials are politically motivated.
Right.
That the main aim is to silence him and his party, PTI. It's a hugely contentious situation, obviously.
And the reports coming out about his prison conditions, they're deeply concerning, frankly. Solitary confinement, reportedly. Family and legal visits withheld at times. Lack of electricity. Communication blackouts.
Mm-hmm.
These conditions have even been described using the term death cell. And it's prompted serious concern from the United Nations.
Yeah, and that UN concern isn't just a footnote. It really highlights the critical questions this whole situation raises for democracies everywhere.
Absolutely.
It moves beyond just a Pakistani issue to one with real international implications for the rule of law, human rights.
Yeah, throughout all of this, the ups and the downs, the triumphs, the current adversity, one thing seems remarkably consistent, and that's Imran Khan's, unwavering commitment, at least in his public statements, to democratic values. Let's maybe look at some of these quotes directly from our sources. He once said, "Democracy is not just about elections, it's about giving the people a voice." And he followed that saying, "The strength of a democracy lies in its ability to empower its weakest."
Those statements really do capture his core philosophy, don't they?
Yeah.
And he goes further, really emphasizing the foundations. He said, freedom of speech is the cornerstone of democracy, which is particularly poignant now, isn't it, given the allegations about communication blackouts?
Absolutely poignant. He also put it very simply, the only negative thing in Pakistan is not having a democracy. Stark. And then a point that really loops back to his original anti-corruption stance. There can only be democracy when money is not allowed to be spent in politics.
And he's consistently warned about the state of democracy there. Even before all these recent troubles, he cautioned once, saying, one is actually the democracy here. People assume that this election means that there is democracy in Pakistan. There is no democracy. That's a pretty powerful, direct assessment, isn't it?
It truly is. And even from jail, June 2025, he sends out this urgent message, almost a rallying cry. Freedom is never served on a platter. He's continued calling for nationwide protests against what he calls a law of the jungle situation. So we've journeyed through this remarkable transformation, haven't we? From the cricket icon uniting a nation to the political leader with that Naya Pakistan vision, and now this pivotal imprisoned figure right at the center of a huge national and international debate. His journey, as we've sort of unpacked, really reflects these bigger themes: power, justice, and that often very difficult struggle for democratic ideals.
Yeah, exactly. So considering everything, his whole journey, the achievements in sports, philanthropy, his time in power, and now his current highly contested situation, what do you think this deep dive really tells us about the challenges democracies face, about that delicate balance of power, not just in Pakistan, but maybe more broadly? When a voice that was once so powerful, a leader, can be silenced or constrained like this, what does that really imply about how much influence the people's will actually has at the end of the day? Something to think about.